Hi, and welcome to another Watson Brothers Stats video for the month of July 2022. Ian, you made some very solid predictions last month, and there was two, and I think that our followers would love you to answer them.
So I'm going to just recap what we had said. We had said that this month will mark the official transition from a seller's market, which we have been in for the last 18 months, to a buyer's market, and that did happen. We have officially, based on the numbers, moved to a buyer's market.
So your prediction was right. We moved into a very balanced, even market, which is very exciting.
My second prediction was that the market would continue to remain as it is right now, which is relatively flat, until the government does not move up interest rates. Now, we've had an interest rate bump between our last video and now. There'll be another one in August or September. It's the October one that I'm very curious to see. And if they do not raise interest rates, I think at that point, the public and the buying public will say, maybe we've hit the bottom of the market. It's time to hop back in. I'm going to talk about the psychology of real estate in a moment. But first, let's talk about the stats, because they were...
It wouldn't be a Watson video stats
without the numbers.
Right?
So we know that the residential market is the bellwether of where things are. And last month, the sales were off 47%, but the dollar volume was only off 43%. So that tells us that the average sale price is still maintaining. The prices are definitely coming down. There's no doubt about it. But the gap between the sales and the sales volume and the dollar volume is remaining very stable, which means as sales fall, dollars are falling and not out of step with each other, which is very important. I noticed the same thing in the townhouse market. It's actually even tighter, and the apartment market is exactly the same as the residential housing market in that it is very stable and falling in step with each other.
So after we've heard all these numbers, where do we go from here, Ian?
Well, one of the things that we are getting asked all the time is, where's the market going? And frankly, we have no idea any more than anybody else does. What we're able to do is provide guidance in the marketplace that we are working in right now. So for example, buyers have pulled back. 6 months ago, we would put a listing up and say in the Rutland area, and people were clamoring over each other. They couldn't pay enough for a house, and the house would come off the market in one day with 8 offers, and that was the reality of it. Now we have the exact same house in Rutland. Nobody's even looking at it. Why?
Why?
Because everybody suffers from FOMO. They don't want to be the person that pays a little bit more. They all think the market's coming down, and where do I buy in the market? They all want to buy at the bottom. And yet on the way up, everybody was saying, I'll pay more than the next guy. I'll be the next guy. And so they were paying more. Now it's the reverse. Nobody wants to pay more on the bottom end, which if you were to try to say,
where's the bottom end? Nobody
knows where the bottom end is, because once you identify the bottom, you've already turned around and we're going back up.
Well, that's not good.
So our advice to our buyers right now, and where we add value, is that we've had many buyers that have been on the fence for quite some time saying, I can't afford to get into the market. Prices have dropped. They can now get into the market. And there's that small window, which we have talked about, between now and when interest rates flatten, that prices are going to, in my opinion, and Barrett's opinion, and our opinion, are going to continue to fall. So they will fall until they hit where the bottom is. We don't know. But if you can find a house that fits within your budget, buy it.
And there's many that you can look at in one day. It's no longer just looking at 1 or 2. You can see 9 or 10 in the same area, and you can make a decision whether you want to do an emotional decision or if you're looking at it from an investment point of view. It is including both sides. It's the emotions of the real estate.
What we like to say is it is balanced. You now get time to look at a house, do your due diligence. You don't have to walk in knowing that if you don't buy it, the next guy will. So it's an environment that we really like to operate in. Where it can be a little tricky, and this is where the difficulty is, as prices drop and inflation takes over and interest rates move up, it now takes more money to qualify for a house. So for example, the average single family house now requires an income $30,000 more than it did 6 months ago because interest rates have flipped up. We all know about the stress test. The stress test is 2% higher than our base rate that the government employs, so you need to be able to qualify for that a little bit more. We've got ways that we can make and help buyers through the buying process. So if you're on the fence and you're looking for an investment property, if you're looking for your first property, now is an awesome time to buy it, because you actually have a chance to find a property that works for you, think about it, and make a move on it.
Well, right now, Ian, I think your predictions are doing pretty good. I should start asking you for the Super Bowl right about here and what we're going to go for.
If I could predict the Super Bowl, I would be a very wealthy man. Anyway, we'll keep an eye on the stats as we always do. If you need anything in real estate, and even during vacation time when my brother may be away, there's still 3 of us working. You can call us anytime. 250-712.
2222.
There you go.